Hey guys, this is the Fat Panda back with an epic battle this time. My opponent this time is none other than MrStudkip, the single best name in the league right now. I'm running my new Psychic Gym variant that I was allowed to make after losing 2 times, unfortunately. So I have a new and hopefully improved team. And this is the first time I am taking a challenge from MrStudkip. Looking at his team, he's got a fairly strong team, and I've noticed there's quite a bit of stall, which could be quite a problem, and indeed happens to be quite a problem for my team. He's got a most likely Eviolite Dusclops, and he's got a Blissey, so that's quite a bit of tank interspersed there. And then of course there's a Skarmory as well. Anyway, let's head into this battle. It is a fantastic battle after all. And here we go. I'm going to lead with my Smeargle, as I almost always do, unless I'm predicting something like a fake out user to start. He leads with Skarmory, which I think is a fantastic thing, gives me an opportunity to set up. So I open up with a Quiver Dance, raise my special stats plus my speed. It's actually a fantastic move, and I'm glad I use it over Shell Smash now, because the boost in defense plus the, getting rid of that attack boost, that works out pretty well for my team. He opens with a Stealth Rock, as I kind of expected that, or Spikes. I go for another Quiver Boost, I get confident, think he's probably going to go for attack or something, but of course he goes for the obvious Whirlwind, which kind of wrecks my setup. So he knocks Smeargle right out of the battle, and I end up having to use Latios, which is actually pretty useful. I take some Stealth Rock damage, go for the Hidden Power, which happens to be Fire, so I know it's going to at least it should bring this Skarmory back all the way down to 1 HP, because I assume it has 30, but it doesn't. It actually, the Skarmory is quite more tanky than I was expecting. It comes at me with a Brave Bird, does a decent amount of damage, a little bit of recoil, and I'm just going to, since I'm Scarfed, I'm going to go straight for the HP Fire yet again. But he actually withdraws his Skarmory, trying to save it for later, and ends up going into his Alakazam. So I end up Hidden Powering it. I expect it won't probably take him out, but it'll do a heck of a lot of damage. And it does about 40%, which was less than I was hoping. So I pull out my Latios, hoping to use it later. Go into my Smeargle, because I was expecting a Shadow Ball, which he ends up attempting, so of course no effect there. And then I'm simply going for a Quiver Dance, praying to God that Focus Blast doesn't hit, but it does, and there goes Smeargle, because his Focus Sash was broken with those Stealth Rocks. So not much of an impact this game. He pretty much got taken out right away. So then I go back and send my Latios out again. This time, I am going to be going for his stronger skill in an HP Fire. I go for Dragon Pulse. Since I'm Scarfed, I do outspeed him, and he does not like this hit and falls, and I finally have knocked something out on his team after losing my Smeargle. So he comes out and sends out Blissey, and since I'm locked into Dragon Pulse, I pretty much have to bring him back. I head into Sigilif, because I know he can take whatever Blissey's going to throw at him. She goes for the Toxic, but since I have Magic Guard, that's actually better for me. So my first thought is, I'm just going to try to Toxic the Blissey by using my Psycho Shift, but he brings out Dusclops, so I end up Toxicking it. Works out just as well. He's also another really tanky presence. And at this point, I'm thinking I'm just going to start boosting Cosmic Powers so I can get off a good Store Power. But I misclick and hit Store Power instead, so I do almost no damage to him, and he taunts me. And that didn't really go that well. So now my Sigilif is taunted and can only use base 20 power stored power. So I'm going to pull him out ASAP and send in something that can probably handle this Dusclops. I go for the Espeon, thinking I'll probably just try to Calm Mind, Sword Power, maybe Baton Pass somewhere if I have to. He immediately withdraws Blinky and sends it Swagette, which happens to be his Weavile, which is one of the things I was scared the most for. and he hits me with a Pursuit, probably predicting a switch, but I knew that if I tried to switch out I was probably going to die, so I man-moded up, get knocked down to 20 health. He takes some life orb damage, and I hit him back with Hidden Power, which on my Espeon is Rock. Kinda wish it was fighting in this one particular instance, but I like Rock so much more. And it does a fair amount of damage for an unboosted attack, especially since my Espeon doesn't have any points into special attack. It's neutral natured and no EVs. Actually, I think it's got 4 EVs in special attack, so woohoo. But anyway, there goes my Espeon. A little painful. And I noticed that the Weavile has just over 10% of its health, so it can't just boost on this Pursuit or whatever he uses and hope to, you know, watch him fall. I actually have to go for an attack here. So he hits me with Pursuit, which does tons of damage like I expected, and I just knock off the last couple percent of his health with an Aura Sphere. What else can you do? So there goes his Weavile, which was what I initially thought to be the #1 threat, gone. He brings back out his Ballisty. I go for the Rock Polish because I know that whatever Ballisty does, it doesn't really affect my Mew this turn. And the Ballisty actually goes for Aromatherapy, which I found interesting. I was more expecting a Toxic. But here's the team. I have the Rock Polish, so then I go for the Barrier, which I think was probably a mistake. There really was not much of a physical threat left on their team other than Dragonite, which Barrier doesn't really help for. But then Blissey does go for the Toxic, which I was expecting, and because my Mew is Synchronized plus Lumberry, it ends up Toxicing the Blissey and curing the Mew. So I like that little one-turn turnaround combo that you can pull off. Granted, it's not going to do much to Blissey now that I know it has Aromatherapy, but it's an annoyance and good enough for me. So then I Baton Pass those 2 boosts, head straight over to my Executor. Hopefully able to put a dent in this Chansey with Psyshock was what I was hoping for. She immediately Toxics the Executor, which kind of sucks. So now I know he's not going to stay in long. He doesn't really have any way to heal that. More leftovers heal. All the status. And I go for the Psyshock. I'm just thinking, please, please be greater than 50% of its health. I doubt it will be, but I was really, really hoping. And it is, which is awesome. So now I know I can 2-shot this Blissey if they don't retreat her. She Aromatherapies again, heals herself of the Toxic. And I'm just thinking, please, please, don't withdraw. Go for a Toxic or a size, I guess, be like a, you know, Flamethrower or whatever it is that she's got for an offense. Please use that so I can knock you out. But nope. He takes out that stupid Blissey and sends in Skarmory. I Psyshock. It's not going to do a lot, I know, because Resistant plus, you know, it's hitting her defense, so Skarmory's not going to take much damage. Leftovers ends up healing probably most of the damage I just did there. But I decide, oh, I'm just going to finish this thing off, since Executor's pretty much screwed anyway. Just go for the Hidden Power Fire. Knock out the Skarmory that ruined my entire plan. And be happy with that. And then there goes my Executor, and we kind of have a reset here. Both going to send out something. I figure I'm just going to send out my Latios due to the fact that it's now no longer choice to do decision. I can deal with whatever he sends. He ends up going for the Dragonite, so I prepare a Dragon Pulse, hoping he goes for a Dragon Dance, but he just withdraws anyway and sends out that Dusclops again. So my Dragon Pulse isn't really going to do all that much damage right here. And so I just pull out my Latios. I know he's not going to do anything there. He would just get Nightshaded or whatever to death. Send out my Sigilif. And this is where the game gets really, really, really boring. Because I know Dusclops and Chansey can't hurt me at all. And I have Cosmic Power and Roost. So I figure I'm just going to start boosting here. and eventually sweep their team with stored power is the plan. So I'm just going to Cosmic Power myself while not healing all the way up to +6 defenses, and then start, bashing out 140 base power stored powers. So he's going for the Nightshade, which is his best source of damage. Drops me below 100, so I know this turn I have to Roost. And my Roost heal about 174, I believe. So right here, with this one heal, I know I can take two more. I can take two more Nightshades before I have to heal again, due to the fact that my Sigilith, I believe, outspeeds the rest of his team. Might have been smart just to transfer the burn over to this guy to expedite the damage. I'm not sure. I like how he shares his pain there, and it ends up healing me and hurting him, though. I thought that was kind of funny. I mean, it's not much else he could have done. So then he does, and actually he goes out and sends Dragonite out. And so I'm assuming this is going to be some sort of physical attacking Dragonite, as what most of them are these days. So I immediately go for a Psycho Shift, hoping to pass my burn onto him to screw him over. He goes for Dragon Dance. It works out well for me. And I burn him using my Psycho Shift and Flame Orb. So now his Dragonite's pretty much neutralized unless he wants to bring in that Blissey for a Aromatherapy yet again. And I get reburned. Not that I care. Doesn't hurt me. So he goes for the Dragon Claw. I don't know if he's just testing to see how much he could do or hoping for a crit. But he does about 40 damage. So he's not going to be touching me unless he gets a lucky crit. So I heal this off for safety, and then I think I'm just going to go for the stored power this turn. Hoping to knock out this Dragonite. But he pulls it out. And back comes in the Blissey, which really screwed me over more than I was expecting. All my uses of Psyshock got taken out faster than I would have liked. So now I'm just relying on incredibly strong special attacks. So I go for the stored power one more time. I'm thinking please, please, please crit or just magically take it out. But no, it leaves him at a sliver of health, soft boiled, and now I know I won't be able to touch this Blissey again. So I think, why the heck not? I'll just keep boosting. I'll boost myself all the way up to max defenses and see what happens. I do pass a burn on here, maybe just to burn an Aromatherapy or get some damage in if he doesn't feel like using it. But he uses it actually that turn. I don't know if he expected it or if he was just planning on healing that Dragonite anyway. But now his whole team is no longer status, which is unfortunate considering his whole team was status. And he goes for the soft boiled max, I believe, here to max up his health. But I'm just Cosmic Powering anyway. That's all I can really do. Oh no, he goes for the Toxic. I don't know if he expected a Psycho Shift and wanted to just poison me, or if he's just burning PP because he knows he has to saw me all the way down to struggle for this battle to end. But this time I do go for the Psycho Shift. I'm actually hoping he Toxics me constantly, because if I'm lucky, I could actually stick a Toxic on him after when Aromatherapy is gone. That's what I'm hoping, because I know even my max powered stored powers aren't going to be doing all that much to this guy. So Cosmic Power, I think at this point I'm at max. I'm at 5 or 6 here, I've already lost count. I was keeping better track of it when I was actually battling. But here comes another Aromatherapy. You can see the pattern here. Boost, heal, status, attack, boost. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So now, that's my stored power. It does the damage, I believe, from max. I'm just constantly trying to status it, hoping I can burn out all of these Aromatherapies. This is one of the few battles I actually wish I'd had a Toxic Orb on my Sigilith as opposed to my Flame Orb. The Flame Orb usually works really, really well to, stall out and destroy physical attackers, but when something like a Blissey or any aromatherapy, heal bell user comes along, something like a Toxic Orb would actually be much better when they're trying to stall you out, because it can only cancel it 8 times. But anyway, I tried for a max power stored power there, and it does about a third. So I'm pretty disappointed here. I was hoping for half if I was super lucky. So I know at this point, I absolutely have to crit. If I do not crit, I can't take out this Blissey, and I just have to start burning Cosmic Power PP. So right here, I'm just hoping and praying. I'm like, please either crit or this Chansey cannot heal. And I crit. I can't believe how lucky I was, but it still doesn't take it out. I don't know why, but he decided, oh, what the heck, I'm going to go for a Toxic here. Maybe he thought I couldn't do nearly that much damage to him. So now he has to pull out his Blissey because he knows if he keeps it in there, it's going to die. Brings in his Dusclops. I think at this point, he's hoping it's tanky enough to take 2 or 3 of these, maybe share pain, or, just stall me out with pressure at this point. But it takes 2 stored powers to take him out. His Dusclops never even gets to attack, so he just stalls out, I guess, essentially 4 PP of my stored power. And I'm running a little bit low here. And so I'm like hoping it goes for Dragon Dance, because I know he can't hurt me otherwise here. And I got crit. All the way down goes my Sigilif, and at this point, I'm just like, aw, crap. He's going to sweep the rest of my team with Dragonite because I have a crippled Mew and I have a crippled Latios. So I send out my Mew, and at this point, I'm just like, crap. Alright, Aura Sphere. Let's see if he can do anything. But I didn't even think I'd survive this Dragon Claw at this point. Which I did. So I was like, alright, free Aura Sphere. Time to do 5% of his health. If even that much. Yeah, about 5%. And he probably healed more that turn than I did in damage. So he just finishes me off with the Dragon Claw, I believe. Yep. And down goes my Mew. And I'm kind of down right now. I'm like, crap, I lost. It sucks. Well, oh, I still have a Latios. I completely forgot my Latios was still around. I thought it had gone down ages ago. And granted, it's got absolutely no health. If one hit will knock it out. But I know I'm locked into one move. So I pick Dragon Pulse because I know it's the only thing that can take this Dragonite down. He switches and I'm like, crap. I probably won't be able to take out this Blissey with the Dragon Pulse. I don't think it'll matter because 2 would. But it goes down. And so now it's my Latios versus his Dragonite. And I'm just like, please crit or somehow be enough damage, because I haven't calculated this. I mean, his multi-scale is down. So I'm just watching this bar and I'm just like, lower, lower, lower. And it gets all the way down and I knock out his Dragonite. I can't believe it. I thought he was going to survive, knock me out. But anyway, that was the best battle I've had as a gym leader, for sure. Congratulations, even if you didn't win, MrStudkip, that was a great battle, and I can't wait to see you challenge me again. This is the Fat Panda, signing